In this video, we will talk about manual code review process. So, what is a code review? Code review is a systematic examination of computer source code. When you finished implementation some piece of code, it might be fixing a bug or finishing some feature, you create merge request and another developer in your team or from another team may check how you implemented this code. Was everything implemented? Was everything implemented according to code standards, code style, and was the functionality implemented? And this process is taken every time when you finished your task. The main purpose of this process is to find and fix overlooked mistakes, improve the overall quality and security of software. So very often when developers create code, he or she can miss some part which can be improved or should be fixed. And the code review, it's not automated, it's a manual process, and this process helps to improve these places because of another developer who might be a bit more experienced can review your code and suggest some improvements. In this video we will talk about the next code review aspects. It's a process, roles in code review process, review type, best practice and tools. Why is it important? First of all, it's cost effective. Because of fixing and looking for a bug on the code review stage, it costs much less than if this bug will be deployed to production and this bug will be found in production stage by users. So it's cost effective. But comparing with automated code analysis, it's much more expensive because of some developer have to spend his or her time and take a look on this code. Another aspect is a fewer bugs. So reviewing your code, another developer can find some well-known bugs or can, based on his or her experience, can suggest what can be fixed and do not allow to push bugs to the main source code. Also important is knowledge sharing. Because of software development, it's a teamwork and a lot of developers can develop some parts of code. You can't know everything in the project, so when you review somebody's code, you can learn some new features which were implemented and you will know your project better. Also, code review helps us to implement such a feature like collective code ownership, when each team member knows the whole code in your project and can fix any part of your application, even if this developer didn't work in the first place with this code. The next step is code quality. It improves code quality because of not everything can be fixed or catched by a static code analysis. Some pieces of code can be fixed and found just by looking on them by a real person and understand that this code should be updated. And security and performance standards. So code reviewers should check if all standards were applied in this merge request or this piece of code. So, and what is the process, how it works? So we have a coding process. For example, you had a bug and you fixed this bug and you create a pull request to the server. Then you assign you can assign this merge request to another developer, and this developer will check your code and will perform code review. This developer will check was everything implemented according to functional requirements in the task, was everything implemented according to non-functional requirements such as unit test, code coverage, coding standards, was everything implemented. There are two. And then we have two options. If there was something not implemented or there are some comments, code reviewer can address comments. A reviewer will add a comment to some particular line and mention that this piece of code can be fixed or this can be updated or something should be changed, and then developer should respond to this comment, resolve them and fix problems. And again, code reviewer will review this code again, and if everything was solved and fixed and there are no questions or comments to your merge request, developer can resolve all comments and approve merge request. Then merge request will be approved and merged to the code base, and then your merge request is closed and code review is finished. So we have code review process, we have everything comments, and is everything okay, code will be merged. Also, Let's take a look on roles in code review. Basically, there are two types of roles. It's author, the person who writes the code and its code should be reviewed, and reviewer, a person who studies code and makes comment on it. So in case you created code and created push request to the server, you are author, and somebody else, it might be one person or a couple of persons in your team or from another team, they are reviewers. They can review your code. In case somebody else created code and ask you to check this code, you will be reviewer. And the third role, it's moderator. It's optional role. It's not always exist, but sometimes if there are some comments for merge request and two people, author and reviewer, can agree was it okay or not, and they have some disagreement, we can ask this moderator and resolve this disagreement to find the best solution. Also, this moderator can double check the code and double review it if everything was okay. It can be applied for very secured parts of your code or very important parts. And how to review? There are a few types of reviewing. First of all, you can use pair programming when two developers sit on one computer, one developer implementing functionality, another developer looking on this implementation and can leave some comments and suggest what can be improved. From my experience, we use pair programming, but not in code review perspective. Also, there are tool-assisted code review. Popular source controlling systems as GitHub or Subversion, they have special tools which allows you to do your code review efficient. It can compare files, the current version and previous, and show the difference. Also, it allows you to leave comments very easily. Also, you can assign merge request to some developer, get feedbacks, get review, and easily handle this process. So what do we need to review and why it's important? First of all, as reviewers, we invest our time in reviewing. We need to be sure that this code is very good readable and reviewing will be easy and we don't waste our time. The next, what is maybe the most important, is functional correctness. So we need to check if this merge request implementing functional requirements from the task assigned to author. So if we need to fix a bug, we have to check this code and is really this merge request fixes this bug. Also, is completeness. Was it finished completely or something wasn't finished, and we need to reassign this task again to author, and he or she should update merge request and provide the final version of his code. Also, we review tests. It might be unit tests or integration tests, but they should be reviewed also, and we check if we used the coding standards agreed on in our code guideline and was everything implemented according to these guidelines. So it's why we have to review it and what we review during coding review process. So thank you for watching.